I'm serious when I say this. We're not very hot takey here.
Right.
I would put some green Skittles that this kid is going to take Jose Siri's starting job.
Well, if Jose Siri continues to strike out and drop routine fly balls in the outfield coming back from a suspension, and DeLuca continues to make clutch plays and do what he does all over the field,
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we are the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays, and email us anytime, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Oh my gosh, what a weekend in so many ways, so many facets. It felt good to be a Rays fan, and we couldn't say that for a couple weeks, quite frankly, or maybe the first month of the season, as there's been a lot of ups and downs, and more downs than ups, I would say.
More downs than ups, but this weekend was very much needed for the whole fandom. You saw the team revitalized with a couple of new additions to the roster in Jonny DeLuca and Alex Jackson. They looked good. You saw the City Connect jerseys and the uniforms. We are now 3-0 when using the City Connect uniforms. So obviously that just means that they're good luck. I saw this meme on X saying, "Thank you for changing my life," to the Skate Ray. So I thought that was pretty funny. I was thinking maybe we can have a Monday memes from the best of what I see on X.
I like it. No, I think that's a good idea. And I am actively petitioning MLB and Rob Manfred to allow the Rays to wear City Connect all 162. I only think it's appropriate.
It's so good, man. I mean, at least I want to see these more often than the 10, 11 days that they said that they would. They look really nice. The team played very well with it. I think the overwhelming majority of people like them.
Yes, I agree. And I think that it might, not going too far off the deep end here, but there could be a refresh or a rebrand of the city's or not the city, the team's logo and color scheme and uniforms, all of that good stuff, as we venture into what hopefully will be a new stadium in 2028, because this is a big month. I believe early June will be a big month, as the elected officials, the power that be, will make the ultimate decision and say on, are the Rays good to go with beginning construction?
Yeah, so it's a huge decision. Hopefully it turns out to be a positive one for all Rays fans, and we can have the team that we have grown to follow for 30 more years and there. That would be great. But you said refreshed image. Well, that wasn't the only refreshed image. It was also in the roster, man. And we saw some good ball players that we had talked about, and then now we finally see them with the MLB team. And I have to just put it out there. Jonny DeLuca, we used to have a My Boy draft. I think we did it once in 2020. Yes. If we had a My Boy draft, he's my one overall pick. Jonny DeLuca has to be my boy. Like, this kid.
His two-strike approach is amazing. His plate coverage is amazing. And we saw it over the course of the weekend. I think basically all three games, where there is runners on base, runners in scoring position, many times 2 strikes against him, not trying to do too much. Choking up on the bat, half swing, 3/4 swing, just put the ball in play and good things happen. I don't need to be superhero here. All I need is really a ground ball or a blooper in the outfield, and we saw that time and time again. Not to mention on Sunday, getting the game-winning triple that Harrison Bader whiffed on the headfirst dive for.
that hit, short, compact swing. Not trying to do too much. And he said it after the game with Trisha. Not trying to do too much. Like, I like that mentality. So and I think there's something when you're a fourth outfielder, kind of fringe guy in the roster, maybe a 25th man, a 26th man, which you could make the argument that Jonny DeLuca is right now.
Right.
You get hungry, buddy. You
Mhm.
get hungry, and then there's an opportunity for you to take more at bats. You
Yeah.
smell that like a shark smells blood in the water, man. And I think right now there's a little bit of blood in the water right now.
Oh yeah, he's hungry, and if we're doing a my boy draft, I think DeLuca has to be up there. I think Rosario temporarily,
Right.
Palacios for sure, and
Yep.
Ben Rortvet too.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys
Benny
are
boy.
crushing it as of right now.
It's crazy. You know, I was happy that we get to see a little bit of Jackson. He looks like he can hit the ball real hard, real far.
Yes,
Which is nice to see
it
because
is. I'm sorry. It is very nice to see because not just the power potential, but again, if you're trying to move a runner over or get a sacrifice fly, he can get the ball to the warning track.
Yeah.
And that's
he
half
did
the battle.
multiple times. So that was great to see. No, really, these additions, it's very nice to get some rejuvenated bats. The offense worked out really well in all three games. And that's not the only thing that's going to happen because we see Josh Lowe killing it in AAA, but then apparently some hugs happened around the fifth, sixth inning. So does that mean, hey, we got you a ticket from to TPA for Monday's game against the White Sox? Could we see Josh Lowe being added to the roster? And if so, who gets the axe, man?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have much more to discuss on a busy weekend. But first, we have to tell you this. Are you struggling to close deals? Business to business selling is tougher than ever. And that's why we want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, surface key signals such as job changes or which accounts you should prioritize, and shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform. That's amazing. Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date first-party data, enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter. So right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/LockedOn, LOCKEDON. I'll repeat it again. It's so good. That is linkedin.com/LockedOn for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/LockedOn to get started.
I know what you're saying. We've heard about Monopoly Go. You can't tell us anything new about it. Well, guess what? You're wrong. I can tell you something new about Monopoly Go. You can team up with friends for timed tournaments where you work together to build up each other's boards. The more you win together, the more awesome the prizes that you can unlock. And there's so much more to get. You can get unique stickers. You can trade with friends to complete albums for big prizes, cool new playing pieces to travel boards with, and hilarious emojis for taunting friends when you smash their buildings or heist their vaults. These taunting friends, I mean, maybe they're New York Mets fans, and you can tell them, hey, remember that sweep? Yeah, we did that. You can do the Monopoly Go. So there's always new opportunities for you to have some fun and discover more by downloading it now free on Google Play or the App Store. Game on.
If we're talking about my boy draft, we totally glossed over this as well. I think Jose Caballero has to be up there in the conversation. And before he got hurt, Ryan Pepiot. I think Caballero, he wants to try to get the 6 stolen bases in one game. He had 4 on Sunday.
Close. He got close.
Man, he's
fun.
so fun to watch, and he picks his spots right, and just a general, like, not just stolen bases, but he is a good base runner. Like, when he turns third going to home, the cuts and not losing any momentum is it's really a master class
You
in
saw
base
it on
running.
Sunday. He goes to steal second. The blooper lands, and the man goes, "You know what? I'm gonna get from first to home," and he does.
Yeah.
It was really something fun to watch. He's gritty, man. I know you can put all the cliche adjectives to this guy, and they would match.
Well, I think that's what we need is we need some grit, and we have it with DeLuca, and we have it with Caballero, and we'll hopefully have it with Josh Lowe coming back.
Richie Palacios also fits in that bucket.
Palacios has a lot of grit as well,
I
which is nice.
That foursome right there: Richie, Caballero, DeLuca, and Josh Lowe.
That might be a decent core going forward. They still have more to prove,
yes,
for sure, but we are definitely liking what we see thus far from them. Now, we didn't really talk, I guess, too much about what happened on Sunday. We'll talk about Saturday and Friday a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Extra inning win 7-6, and that was kind of the theme for the Rays. I mean, they found a way to win close ball games, tight ball games throughout, which had been a problem for them the first month of the season. Now, unfortunately, Ryan Pepiot got dinged around a little bit in more ways than one, and we hope he's okay after taking a 107 mile per hour ball off the knee from, I believe, Starling Marte, because that is really one guy that we cannot afford to lose. I know he doesn't get any run support whatsoever, pretty much, but he has been pretty much everything you could ask for if you can't have Tyler Glass now.
How much would you need to be paid to feel what 107 mile an hour baseball feels like to hit your calf like that?
I would take Pepiot's salary of what, 700,000, something like that. Give me that. I'll be okay with it.
Dude, that did not look like any sort of fun at all. And Kevin Kelly missed being, you know what, by this much. That was scary, man. That was incredibly scary. So I'm happy that apparently Pepiot is going to be making his next start. That's awesome news. We don't need another start in the IL. I'm happy that Kevin Kelly was able to avoid that baseball hitting him very close to the head. So it was a fun baseball game on Sunday. A little bit frustrating in the middle parts of it because when you make silly mistakes like that in the outfield, just trying to show off, that's what sucks, really. It's it was there to take. Like, it wasn't like a crazy play that, oh, well, he maybe, nobody else. 30 out of 30 center fielders make that play.
Yeah. And what did you do on Saturday? Was it the first pitch of the game?
First pitch of the game.
Drops
And
the
then
ball?
again, like that one, I'm upset about. He says the lights, fine. We've seen that before.
Right. And I guess if we're playing, like, really trying to boost him up a little bit, say, okay, he did miss a couple games with the suspension, so trying to get back into it, a little bit of an adjustment there. But he's played so many games in the Trop, and he's supposed to be an elite center fielder.
Yeah, and like I just feel the second one, especially on Sunday, that was just hamming it up, and then it backfired on him. It on his face. So it's a shame to put your team then on a losing effort because you wanted to be cute.
Yeah. And I believe didn't that eventually make the Rays down 3-0?
Yes.
So for them to battle back, and with something you don't expect happening to Pepiot, like when you roll out Pepiot, you're getting 6 innings. You're expecting 6 innings. And when he's out after 2 innings, it becomes a bullpen day, which nobody was really prepared for. Manny Rodriguez put in a really, really difficult spot with bases loaded. So for them to still pull out the victory, I think was massively impressive. I think they used 7 pitchers in that game. So they put it together from that approach. But it just goes to show you that not every game is going to be an oil painting. Things are going to go against you. You're going to have to battle and fight adversity, and you're going to have to grind to the very last out of the game, which is more or less what we saw.
And yeah, so just want a quick edit. It was a 4-3, so it became a 5-4 game after
Okay.
that with the
Apology.
series. Yeah. So yeah, no, look, tremendous game by the bullpen to be able to, hey, our starter is out after what, 2+. Go figure out the next 7 innings. Very cool for Manny. Very cool for Kevin Kelly.
Yeah.
All of them, and really, they all did their job. So happy to see that. The bullpen needs more positive moments. They
Yeah.
had that on Friday. They might not have had that as much on their City Connect WJRC day.
No. And good thing that the Rays bounced out to, what was it, like a 9-3 lead at one point? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's the days have missed me, but the Rays were up by a pretty wide margin, and for the Mets to get that close is pretty unfortunate. In fact, Ulises and myself and others were at the game, and we were watching most of the game from Ballpark and Rec, that outdoor area, which is a beautiful site and venue, especially when the weather is nice in the evenings in May there. And then we came back to the concourse for the 9th inning, and we saw a Brett Beatty smash off Jason Adam, his second home run of the game, by the way. But that was like, because we were so close to where that ball landed, I've never witnessed a ball like exit the ballpark that quickly with that much velocity and that much no doubterness to it.
Yeah, it was an absolute bomb. Jason Adam thankfully was able to close it out. The only ball I could rival that to would be Randy's on Friday night game, which was a massive bomb. Like it felt massive at the time in the context, but then also we were looking at each other saying, have we seen, like, because it also was like 3 sections away from us. So we saw the trajectory very, very close by. And when it landed, we were like, we've never seen a ball like that being hit by Randy. And then in the post game on the radio show, I think it was either Chris or Neil who said, this is officially the longest home run that Randy has ever hit at the Trop.
At 445 feet, exit velo of 109 miles per hour, 97 fastball, middle. He took care of it. And maybe something we'll have to get to. I was actually, full disclosure, late for that ball game. Hey, when you have to cross that bridge in rush hour and there's an accident, it's going to take some time to get from the Tampa side to the St. Petersburg side. But there was some scuttlebutt and some groundswell in a grassroots effort to uplift Randy Arozarena a little bit with a standing clap, cheer, innovation. And we will discuss that. But first, we have to tell you this. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. Whether you're a seasoned investor or you're looking for that extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need in one place. In fact, they are the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle, including breaking news, original editorial perspectives, analyst ratings, independent research, customizable charts, and more. Securely link your brokerage accounts for a unified view of your wealth, including 401k and other investments. A comprehensive perspective is what sets apart great investors, and that's how Yahoo Finance ensures you have the insight to look at your wealth in its entirety. With a community of over 90 million users each month, their real strength is helping you on your way to financial success. So, for comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com, the #1 financial destination, yahoofinance.com. That's yahoofinance.com. So I would assume that there was some claps and some cheers for Randy. How did that go? Because I know that had generated some momentum on social media, radio, and elsewhere that, hey, Randy's basically the worst hitter in the league right now. We're back home. We got a Randy Land Friday night event going, City Connect. Let's do things a little bit different. Let's, instead of boo him or not acknowledge him at all, let's remind him why he's been so good and so great the last couple of years.
And what a beautiful thing from the fandom to do. Really, it was awesome to see, and it did. Obviously, I think it happened more in the Randy Land section,
Yeah.
but it did feel the first at bat. You did feel it across the stadium, and I think Randy, he might say no, but I think there's something to that.
Oh yeah.
They're human beings, and that feels really good. He ended up flying out to right field. He just missed that ball, by the way. Like that seemed like he could have really gone oppo after that standing ovation, which would have made headlines. But he ended up doing it a little bit after in the fourth, fifth inning. So
And
no,
he
I
drew
think
3
it was
walks too.
yeah, 3
Which,
walks.
That's big.
Yeah, huge. Saturday, he goes back to not really being that productive. But then on Sunday, that clutch home run in the ninth inning to just keep it going against Edwin Diaz, who hadn't blown a save in 2 years, in 2 seasons. Like, there's something about Randy Arozarena. When the lights are brightest, he shines the most. And there's just some players that are like that. It's a grind to be 162. So yeah, a game on April 17th might not get your jollies as much, but when there's something to play for, Randy gets up, and that's the grind about a baseball player. You have to do 162 plus playoffs plus spring training. It's a lot, but when you need Randy, more often than not, he's going to be there.
Yeah, for sure. And again, he's been consistent in the aspect of, we know we can bank on him getting 150 to 154 games every year. And we can't say that about every player. So I think that was important. Also important was the fact that, hey, maybe he's getting back to what had worked previously of pulling the ball, pulling home runs, and instead of trying to hit balls so much the opposite way. So maybe this opens the door for him to say, okay, maybe let me go back to what worked the last 3+ seasons. And we certainly hope it continues, because you need him to be productive. You need Yandy Diaz to be productive. We saw some good things from Yandy Diaz. We need other guys to be productive as well. It's funny because on Friday, so it was the City Connect unveil. Pretty much every Rays fan that I saw walking around had some piece of new memorabilia or merchandise donning the City Connect. You've got the hat, which wasn't too crazy expensive for you, right? Wasn't it around $40, give or take?
Yeah, it was great. It was $35, man.
$35. That's a good deal. So I think people were diving all into that. I was a little bit surprised that it wasn't more attendance. I don't know. I don't want to make this an attendance episode, but
it was 19K,
I thought it'd be a little bit more filling.
I was thinking it was going to be over 20, but I guess it did get a bump. 19K, maybe we would have seen a 15K Friday.
Yeah, but it's the Mets too, so I would think that
I was surprised.
Yeah.
But there were a crap ton of Mets fans there too, man. Like,
especially on I guess Saturday and Sunday. Like, my wife, actually, I was watching the tail end of Saturday's game, which, thankfully the Rays were able to pull out. And she was like, "Where's this game being played?" Like, no joke. She said, because there was so much of that shade of blue and that orange in the crowd.
Yeah, it was a lot. When I got there, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a trouble maintaining home field advantage here." But you know who didn't have trouble? Zack Littell.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I know we've kind of normally on these Monday episodes, we go from what happens Sunday to Saturday to Friday, but there was so much good over the course of this weekend.
Excited.
We've lost our way a little bit, so we do have to acknowledge the pitching duel that took place on Saturday between Zack Littell and I can't even remember the guy's name.
Christopher Scott?
Christian Scott.
Something
Scott? To that effect. Yeah, who has really, really good sweeper. And I think will probably be good for years and years to come. Just continues to bolster that Mets rotation, which has been doing really great work this season, which, again, good for the Rays that they were able to finally score some runs the last 3 games.
Christian Scott, very good. He was a little bit shaky in the first inning. But then which
makes sense. I mean, MLB debut, you're going to have some shakes, but he eventually settled down. But yeah, Zack Littell, 6 innings strong, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, no walks, 6 hits. He now has a 3 ERA, and he continues to be probably a little bit our fault and others that he gets lost in the fold of. We're talking about Pepiot and Savali, who's been struggling lately, and Zach Eflin, and we always talk about the injured guys, but Zack Littell has just continued to put his head down and go to work.
In the last 5 games that he's thrown, only one has been a bad start, which is against the Tigers. He went 6 innings and allowed 5 runs. Otherwise, it's been 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 1 run, 5 2/3, 3 runs, 4 1/3, 1 run.
Yeah.
The guy is nails, and just such a great story coming from a reliever that should have been DFA'd because of his results as a reliever. And they were like, you know what? Maybe there's something here to make him a starter. And then, boy, was there ever. He's really turned around his career. So good for Zach to do that. Saturday's game, Shenton, big at bat, very patient, plate discipline showing there against Adam Ottavino, which is one of the most fun names to say, Adam Ottavino. Really good from a guy that hasn't had that many opportunities to be the guy. He was the guy on Saturday.
And frankly, you mentioned if Josh Lowe's getting a call up, who's getting sent down. I mean, are we going to bet green Skittles?
I think that's probably what is the thing. Shenton being sent down for Josh Lowe. Yeah.
And that's just a case that you got to deal with. Somebody's got to go down in that situation. So overall, great weekend for the Rays. We mentioned the stolen bases. I think I heard and read a stat that the Mets had only thrown out 1 base runner to this point. Yeah. So that was a good opportunity for the Rays to, hey, 2 outs or Jose Siri's up. Let's go ahead and move the meter and try to do something. And there was a lot that happened in this weekend. So I don't want to totally crap on Jose Siri because he did at least do a little bit of something in laying down a bunt over the weekend.
I like that.
Over, sacrificing himself. I think it was a no-out situation. So
you
move the runners over to second and third.
And then both runners scored. And then both runners scored, which was huge. Yeah. To set that up. I like the small ball play. Like, it has an effect sometimes. And that was a perfect iteration where I like the bunt. Like, I don't need to see Siri in that situation strike out. I'd rather him move the runners, and then let's trust the boys behind him. And guess what? The boys behind him, you've got a Yandy Diaz who was pretty hot this weekend. Yeah. He had 4 RBIs and he went 6 for 13. Yeah. When you have Yandy behind him, I know he's struggling, but I'd rather see a Yandy at bat than a Siri at bat with 2 men on.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. In every universe, that's the outcome that we want to see there. Yeah. I think I have a theory on why there weren't that many fans on Friday. Because parking's $20-$25, not for us because we have an inn. A beer and chicken tenders cost $40. I mean, I don't know. It's getting out of control. They got to give us some discounts here and there. I guess when they mark down the hats to $35, that's where we can.
Yeah. You got to come in already eaten, man. Like,
yeah, that's kind of the play. You've got to be prepared, and when you go to the game, it's just like 1 beer limit. That's it.
You get 1 drink.
They're going to bring back that, $5 beer night or whatnot.
And Friday night Budweiser's at 5. Yeah, that was a nice deal. I got myself a short rib sandwich, grilled sandwich. Man, those are good.
Was it $80?
18, so kind of. Yeah, 18.
Inflation, baby. They got to pay for the new stadium. If they actually put on there like, hey, 10% of your purchase will go towards a new ballpark, I'd be like, okay, fine. Just make sure in that new ballpark you have cup holders and you have what are they called? Splash dividers at the urinals.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That is one thing that is non-negotiable. We need splash guards because it's awkward.
Yes. Okay. So it's the splash zone, man. Like, I don't need on mine.
Yeah.
At all.
No, I don't need anybody peeking around at what we have going on. I'm about to bring in like a pop-up banner and like put it between the stalls when I go. No joke.
There's just a little bit of like cross contamination that should not happen.
Yeah, that
and I'm
that
not
should
okay with
never
that.
happen.
So
Every gas station pretty much you can go to Wawa and they've got
You can-
splash guards. The
y-
Rays are a billion-dollar organization.
there
Let's
are
do it.
Waffle Houses and rest stops that have splash guards.
Yeah.
So let's clean it up a little bit with that and the cup holders. And by the way, if we need to pick one, I'm going cup holders. You know that. But if this happens and the new stadium has cup holders, I am going to be patting ourselves in the back because we made it happen.
How about
There.
cup holders attached to the splash guards so you can set your drink down without putting it on the urinal stall or on
All
the
right.
floor?
This has gone off the rails.
Yeah, we've gone off the rails a little bit. Hopefully what doesn't go off the rails is the Rays because they have the freaking White Sox coming into town. And they
Yeah.
better win a game or 2 or 3. I don't know if it's a 3 games. I assume it's a 3-game series. Because the White Sox, I think they've maybe won 1 game since they played the Rays last because they're 8-26 right now.
That's rough. So they've won 2. Okay.
So, yeah, they've got Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then they face the Yankees on Friday. So let's win a series at least.
Let's win a series here. I'm not asking for a sweep here. Back to back. That's ridiculous. Nobody should be asking for that. But just win the series.
Yes.
Please.
We need it. All right. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.